Hi everyone, welcome to this series of videos on using Power BI Desktop with R scripting for modeling purposes. So what I aim to show at by the end of this video series is rather a way that we can transform data sitting in one bucket and then use an R script which does the modeling, which does one form of model, another R script which performs some other transformation on the model or on the data, and then you can visualize this data depending on what transformations you have done to them. So you can have one visual there, another visual here, so that's visual 2 and visual 1. So what I'm trying to show is how to use Power BI Desktop as a one-stop shop for all your processing needs, all your framework. So you have your data, you have your model, and you have your visuals. Before I go into how to do this, I'd like to show you how Power BI Desktop basically works. So here I load a CSV file, and what I aim to show here is, before I go into actually running the CSV file, what I aim to show in this series is how to load a simple CSV data file, how to change the column headers, how to rename the column headers into something that you prefer, and then next is how to create tables out from them, how to view the tables, how to filter the tables, and use different filtering with different objectives of a filtering. So let's go to the first slide, loading simple CSV data. So let's see how to do that. So let me select one MPG data, and the way I did that was I selected get data, and I selected the CSV file format. When I open it, I'll find that that the data is not really in the correct format. It's the rows actually starting on the second line, and the first line is my actual header data, but Power BI Desktop could not figure out whether the first row was my header data, and it's put its own column headers on it. Probably because it's noticed that the first row is a null value, and it therefore it's transformed everything into a actual record, which is not correct. So let me load this and show you how to modify this so that you can read the correct format. Now once you load it, you find that all the column headers are actual column with some number around it. So let me edit it so that I can read the correct row as the header. So this when you open the edit queries, when you click on the edit queries button, you get the query editor, which is a very powerful function of Power BI Desktop. It's also a new feature in Excel 2013 and Excel onwards, and it works basically behind a language called DAX. So the language features can be seen when you say advanced editor, and you can see the language syntax inside here. Now let's try to do the objective of converting the first row into a header. So it's a simple click of a button, and boom, everything which was on the first row has moved into the header format, and it's as simple to now change the column header if you like to something else. So let's make this ID as an ID. So enter, and each step now is a new program, and you can edit it further if you know the DAX language well enough. You can edit each query, and the details are here. So once you've done that, now you have your data ready. So basically this data is every row is a unique row showing which manufacturer of the car is, what model the car is, the engine displacement, the year it was manufactured, number of cylinders for the car, whether manual or auto transmission, which is whether it's a four-wheel drive or front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, I guess. The mileage in the city, the mileage in the highway, and the class of the car. Now, for me, for this video, I'll be just showing you. I'll be just concentrating on 5 different columns. That is the manufacturer, the model, the country, the city mileage, and the highway mileage, and the class of the car. So let's load this data. This one. All left. I don't need those. I need that guy. Right. This is probably happened because I had tried to load these data sets before, but when you do it the first time, you'll get this one data set cleaned out. Yeah. So next step is now to create. So we finished one part of the slide, that is loading data, and now let's go to the next slide, that is the tables, creating tables and doing these filters. So it's as easy with the point and click feature. I know many people don't like point and clicking, but in Power BI you can do this. You can then select a table. You don't need to drag it anyway, just click on it and you have a table jumping out at you. Now what I want to see here is the let's just play around with it. So I have the model, I have the manufacturer. When I click on manufacturer, it jumps into the values section. I want to know what model it is, and I want to know what is the city mileage and the highway mileage. Now what is done here is, if you see the data, what is done here is it's taken, it's grouped by the manufacturer and the model and taken the sum of the city mileage and the highway mileage. So how do we change that? So if you select the data, you can actually do here is take an average city mileage and the average highway mileage. Now if you don't want the model, because you have tons of data here, so let me remove the model and rather put in the class. So whether it's a compact, it's a sedan, it's anything like this. So let me remove the model and put in class. Now since class comes at the end, so the order of the stuff is as displayed here. So it's manufacturer, average of the city, average of the city mileage, average of the highway mileage, and the class. So I can now move this to the second column by just pointing and clicking and dragging, and now I have a sort of manageable, viewable data set here. So what this is showing you is the group average city mileage and average highway mileage grouped by the manufacturer and the class. Now when you did all this, you notice that all the whatever you selected here immediately jumped into visual level filters. And these visual level filters are the filters that you can apply whatever data you can see here. So what if you want to apply a filter to this page, so that it's not visible here, but you can actually play with it somewhere around outside. Now let me take, say for example, let me take for example the transmission. Yeah, so don't click it. When you click it, it immediately comes the values, but let's not click it, but let's drag it to the page level filters. Now you see that when you immediately drag it, nothing came into the visual, into the visual side of it, but it definitely dropped down over here. So let's see what it has. So let's say it let's see, you wanted all the autos with transmission as manual 5 gear, and what is filtered out now is the average city mileage of cars with the different manufacturers, different classes, and what is the average city and highway mileage. Usually the highway mileage is usually larger, and that's the way to do this with one level of page filters. What can you do with the visual filters is you can also do things like is less than, or is greater than, is not, these type of filters. So let's filter for something like is greater than, say 20. Yeah, so where the average city mileage is greater than 20. So enter, and you find all the cars whose average city mileage is greater than 20. So you have some great level of cars here. You have Hondas, you have Toyotas, and Volkswagen. So this is a good way to find out details about cars, where you immediately want some feedback on your data. Also, you can filter out for particular types of manufacturers, but yeah, you can see that the top mileage cars are all within that, with the topmost being Honda, the sound compact. Now you might want to know what kind of car, what kind of model of the car is actually sitting under this. So this is where the other filters, like the drill through filter, will come into play, and I'll show that in the next video. Thank you for watching.